Moving into an even broader perspective of separation of concerns, we will look at how to appropriately organize the source files of an application. I will discuss two approaches which are common to use and my own approach which features ideas from different styles. I recall being quite confused about the term package in the context of programming at least, and how exactly a package was different from a regular old directory, commonly known as a folder. To answer that question in short, there is no difference. A package is a directory. If you wish to test this idea and you have an IDE, just look at one of your projects in a regular file explorer. With that being said, it is important to understand that the directory structure or package structure is actually important for several different reasons. Aesthetically, they help developers to have an easier time organizing and reading software applications. We will revisit that point, but the other reason they are important is that they can represent a way to identify an application. Something which you will see when building Java applications on just about any platform, desktop, mobile, or web, is a main package. Typically, within this main package will be a Java package. Within this Java package, you will find a series of packages which combined form the package name of an application. They almost always follow a convention which looks something like a reversed website domain URL. The assumption is that you or the company you work for have registered a domain, and that is the domain name you would use here. For students, it is okay to use whatever you want, but a common convention is to use com.example.someApplicationName. The purpose of this package name is to provide a unique identifier or signature for a specific application. Obviously, you should not reuse the application names even in your learning projects. When it comes time to host or publish an application to things like an app marketplace or web server, your application's package name will be used by that service as a unique identifier. Therefore, you will want to be certain that you have chosen an appropriate package name before doing so. Apart from package names, we have what are called package structures, which tend to be related to your software architecture. A common approach is to put files which belong to a particular layer into a package labeled according to whatever layered architecture you are following. This approach is better than nothing and works okay in smaller projects, but it scales very poorly to complicated projects. Also, it is not always clear which layer a class really belongs in, especially if you are not applying SOC in your classes. Package by feature is much more appropriate for projects that have multiple different features. A feature can be loosely described as a particular screen of your application. For example, in Facebook you have Home, Profile, and Find Friends features, to name a few. The idea with package by feature is that you place any file which has to do with a particular feature in the same package. Especially in medium to large scale projects, I find this setup to be much more organized than package by layer. However, the problem with it is that it does not account for source files which need to be used in multiple different features. Having the same source file in multiple feature packages is a terrible idea, so something needs to be added to this style. Here's a simple way to lay out your source files in packages that will scale to any size of project. Any files which only concern a particular feature should go in a feature level package. Any files which are shared among several features should go in an appropriately named package which sits outside of a particular feature. Do not be afraid to make several packages that sit outside of features if you have lots of shared files that have different concerns. All of this is just common sense. Separate things that are general from things that are specific and give them good names.